channel. Today for the GT-1 I'm going to show you how you can build up your own basic patch all the way from scratch here. And I've just taken a factory preset patch here called the Natural Clean, and I've just saved it to one of the user locations here because you can't save a factory preset patch that you've just edited, and you can't initialize it, which means that you will clear the whole patch and you can start all over. So I've just taken this patch here to basically demonstrate what you will meet when you first power up the GT-1 and when you think about creating your own patches. So let's say that you have chosen this patch here and it doesn't really sound that good, it's a factory preset, and you want to create your own patch and add in the effects and preamps that you want to use. So first of all, you're going to press both the exit and enter button over here on the right hand side. That will take you into right utility menu here, and if you use one of the knobs 1, 2 or 3, you're going to select the initialize icon over here and you press the enter button and make sure that you have selected the patch that you want to initialize, and you press enter again. Once it has executed, you will see that the screen is now blank and you can basically name this patch whatever you want it to. But initializing a patch basically means that you're taking that existing patch and just wiping it down, so you can start with a clean slate and build your way through a patch. So right now we have basics established, so let's take a look and dive into how we can set up our basic patch here. Let's say that we have a patch where we want to start out with a clean sound. So let's press the preamp button right here, and let me just say that if you're using the GT-1 with your own preamp, skip this part right here and just turn the preamp off right away, because you're obviously using your own preamp for your amplifier tones. But I'm always using the GT-1 with its own preamp here. So I'm just going to select the preamp that I like the most, Clean Twin. Going to set it up the way I like it, just change the speaker type and basically leave the EQs at default. I like to add in a bit of plate reverb and maybe increase the effects level a little, but for now I'm just going to leave it at 35. And let me just say I'm sorry, but I can't give you any sound examples of this as we go because I'm not hooked up to my computer, and at the moment I don't have the time to make the recording, sorry, but I thought it would be instructional for you to see how you can create this, and you can hear it for yourself when you create it. It's basically the same thing. Anyway, preamp is set up and we just added a little bit of ambience to the patch here. And right away, let me tell you, this right here is a straight up clean sound, sounding very good, whether you're on the bridge pickup or the neck pickup. Let's just say that you have a clean sound and you're well satisfied with only having the preamp on and the reverb on. But somewhere along you might want to add in, let's say, a compressor over here and some chorus, for example. The way we're going to do that is by pressing the memory edit button. Then scroll to the first icon you'll see over here, which says CT1. And this is the onboard foot switch, CTL1. So press enter, and the function is going to enable you to scroll through what you want to engage with effects here. So under effects 1 you will find the compressor, and this menu doesn't allow us to dive into the menu any further, but don't worry, the assign will let us do that later here. But this is sort of an extra foot switch or extra assign you can use because you can assign this to the CTL1. So gonna assign effects 1 here, going to select the toggle because one press is active and another press is deactivated. Press memory edit again, then go to your first available assign for the option to turn on the chorus. So turn the assign on, make sure the source is set to CTL1 and the mode is still toggle. Press enter. This time you want to find the chorus, and you can either go through this menu here where you see the number 2, which means the effects 2, and find the chorus if you wish to do that. you can also, as we did with FX1, just set it to FX2. And for that we can only use the target for type and on and off. But if you wish to assign the chorus's rate or modulation depth, you would have to find it over here within the FX2. But we're just going to want to turn it on and basically adjust the parameters after we've turned it on. Okay, so let me press the CTL1 here. We'll now see that FX1 is engaged and FX2. So if I press and hold on FX1, it has automatically gone to the compressor and the type is just set to bus. I generally like to use the stereo compressor and adjust sustainer level and whatever I wish to use here. For the modulation, it has selected the chorus. Pressing enter will take you into the mode here where you can select either mono, stereo or stereo 2. I generally like to use stereo 1, but it depends. You can listen for yourself. Alright, so now we have CTL number 1 assigned to do different things here. And if you don't have an external foot switch like the FS6 or FS7, you don't really have any further options here, because once you add in the FS6 or FS7, you'll be able to get 2 extra foot switches that you can assign. And at the moment I have the FS7 connected to my GT-1 here, and I would highly recommend getting it in order to be able to assign further things to further pedals. So let's say now that we have effects, compressor and modulation assigned to CTL1. And if I kick that in and out, it's going to turn them on and off. But perhaps somewhere along the line it would be nice to go from that clean sound over to an overdriven sound. So I'm going to find CTL2 over here, which is one of the foot switches on my FS7. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to set the function to something that I want to activate, which in this case would be the delay. I'm going to select that. But let's say that we also want to change the type of preamp that we're using. So I'll find my next available assign, which is assign 2, press enter, turn it on. This time make sure that the source is set to CTL2, but it's still toggle. Then we're going to find the preamp, which is right there. And now we don't want to turn it on and off. We want to select what's called type over here. Press enter, and this will let us choose between whatever we have going on here. So remember, the minimum target is what you have chosen as a preamp to start out with. And I chose the clean twin. And the max here is going to be what we want to change it to. So let's say that we want some kind of Marshall sound. So I'm going to select the MS-9059-1 here. If I press enter and I go out and go to the preamp here, you'll see I have my FS7 over here, but when I press it you'll see that we're going to change from clean twin to the Marshall. So right now, oh yeah, and also turn on the delay as we assigned. So when I press the foot switch on the FS7, we're now able to change from a perfectly clean sound here to something with a little more crunch and gain. So that's pretty handy if you have a concert or a song that you're trying to replicate and you basically want to have best of both here. So that's an option to do it. Another thing to go a little further here, we could take advantage of the last foot switch on the FS7, which is going to be CTL3. We can press that and we can set it to OD solo or either preamp A solo, depending on. The OD solo is going to take the overdrive or distortion pedal into a solo mode, and the preamp solo is going to take whatever preamp you have chosen into solo mode. Basically give it a boost and a little bit of extra volume and gain. So let's just select preamp A solo. So when I press CTL1, remember we had the compressor and the chorus going on. So you can use that as a nice clean sound with some compression as a nice chorus. Deactivate it again, then press your foot switch on your external controller here and have that to turn on the delay, and as I said, change the preamp, right? But when we then press the last foot switch on my controller, you'll see that it says PRA up here, which means that we have taken the overdriven preamp into solo mode. But if you wish to take the clean preamp into solo mode, basically just going to toggle and switch through them. So switch back to the clean, and we are still in solo mode. Taking it out, going back to normal. So that's a nice way of switching and basically going through. One last thing here. Let's just say that along with us increasing or activating the solo mode here, let's say that solo boost isn't enough. We still need a little bit of EQing going on when we change from the clean preamp to the overdriven preamp. So we're going to take our next available sign, which is going to be number 3, I can see here. Turn it on, make sure that you set it to CTL3 and still toggle. Go to the next page, find the preamp, but this time let's say that we want to increase the gain a little bit. Set the target to gain, set the minimum target, which is going to be 50 by default. And let's say that we want to increase it to something like 95. But along with that, we also want to increase a little bit of treble and perhaps a little bit of presence. So we're going to the next assign, do exactly the same thing. Sorry, wrong foot switch. And then go in here, next menu, find the preamp. This time I'm going to find the treble, press enter, take it from 50 up to 80, that's alright. Next assign, which is going to control the presence. Turn it on, CTL3 and toggle, preamp, and let's find the presence here. Take that from 50 up to 80. Right, those assigns are now set up. So guys, let's recap. CTL1, when I press it now, it's going to take a nice compressor and a nice chorus on. When you no longer wish to use that, just depress the CTL1. Having an external foot switch, assigning it to the first switch on that one will change the preamp from clean twin to Marshall, simultaneously turn on a delay. Pressing the third and last switch on the extra controller will take it into preamp mode, but it will also, as you said, you can see right here, it has changed the gain from 50 to 95. And if I go through again here, you can see that the treble has been taken up to 80, and so is the presence. So if I now press the third and last foot switch on my controller, you'll see that it will take it right back to its default setting and out of solo mode. So another great way of using all the assigns and the advantages here of the GT-1, and it's a versatile rig because you can basically have a clean patch, an overdriven patch for rhythm, and a lead patch for your big solo, all within one patch. So think about it. This will basically be able to, let's say you have a set list of 10 songs and you want a specific type of tone and patch for each song. You will be able to have all those different parts of those songs within one patch. So 10 patches in total, if you think about it that way. That's neat, and it's a great way to have it because you can use the up and down switches here to scroll easily and quickly through those patches. And of course you can always press enter and exit, go into the right, select the location, and in here you can also, name the patch, have it dial up and rename to whatever you want. Press enter, enter, and this is now your name of the patch. So I remember someone requested this, and it was probably with a sound demo as long, but let me see if I can do that at some point. But I'm pretty sure this will still be helpful for you guys out there. So as always guys, thanks for watching, thanks for the support, keep subscribing and coming back. Comments, questions, requests even are more than welcome. Just let me know, and I'll be happy to help you out if you have any struggles with this unit or the GT-100 or anything in particular. Just let me know. Have a great one, guys, and I will see you next time for our next tutorial.